This look my friend Hindash did is absolutely beautiful. I must recreate it. I think we'll start with mixing these two shades. I'm just gonna do a little bit of the darker one, and then we'll do mostly my favorite one, which is 18 but this is gonna go almost to our brow bone. I feel like mixing these on the eye is gonna be just fine. And we're gonna use a fluffy brush. And that's gonna be our initial base. I added a little bit more. I want a little bit more opacity. That way I can't really see my skin through it. But I will say, if you ever wanna layer a liquid, even a shadow stick, you can absolutely layer, but it's important to not let the shadow stick or the liquid shadow like we're using here completely dry down. That way we won't have any kind of crumbling or patchiness. Now under here, we're still gonna use a darker shade because once this one blends out, it's not quite as dark. I'm not gonna mix it. Also, do not worry about taking it too far. We're gonna use micellar water. I'm gonna show you some things. But we are gonna buff this underneath here. This is going to give us kind of a transition to the even darker shade that we're about to grab. For reference, this is the darker shade that I was talking about. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pick this up on an E27. That way we can just kind of go around the lash line, press it in. I like to come from underneath. It kind of gives us a little bit more depth. It's tight lining essentially. It's not as precise as tight lining, but if you just blink on a really soft brush like this, you're able to really get it some depth at the lash line. I'm gonna go ahead and take more, and I'm just going to kind of pull it around here. You see at the angle just makes it so much easier to navigate the socket, unless your hand slips like mine just did. But we look pretty good, we look in control. I'm just gonna keep kind of bringing some depth to the outer part of the socket. If you heard snorting, that's my cat wanting in, so let me stop this. Now we're gonna grab more of the liquid, the dark one, just on the tip of the brush. I should say more on, see how it's angled? It's on the pointy side. I'm gonna turn to the side. This is actually so much easier than we think. And the reason why is because most of it is cleanup. Now I do recommend starting with really small amounts if you're thinking, wow, they didn't even show up. I don't wanna put a lot of product and have to do major cleanup and major fixing. So it's always good to kind of have that in mind, but it's really easy to clean up. So if you ever want to do something a little bit more graphic, I feel like this type of eye is a great place to start. Ooh, this is really good. And another thing I love to teach and have you understand, let me get a compact so I can kind of turn to the side here. Do you see how terrible this all looks underneath here? That's good. And the reason why is because it's so much easier to kind of take product down. I'm going to do this as an example and be very aggressive. But instead of going up and worrying and taking it into here where it's a lot harder to fix, whenever you're doing anything intricate, go down. Anywhere you know that you can clean up. Underneath here is so easy to clean, but up here it gets a little bit more complicated. So when you're doing something like this and you feel like you have too much, or you're just trying to figure it out, always just kind of flick down. Now I have my micellar water on my C30. We're gonna start to clean it up out this way. Ooh, I need my little mirror. There we go. Make sure it's not going out of focus. So we're just gonna shape it this way. And I'll continue to shape it a little bit more. I just find that this is so much easier because we're not having to layer like I mentioned. And then we'll do on top of it. And where I'm kind of coming from is where my eye separates right here. And I'm just gonna keep on tidying this. Now we're gonna grab that liquid shadow that's closer to our skin tone here. And that's gonna go in the center here. Then we're gonna reach for our E27. And we're just gonna tap this out and blend it a little bit, just some taps. That should do it. Then I'm just gonna take, actually, I'm gonna blend that a little bit more, but we're okay. I'm trying to get this all in one slide. I'm gonna take this shade here, fluffy brush, because we don't want too much of this. And I'm just gonna tap it to kind of smooth this transition a little bit more. I don't want to brighten, but I want to enhance. And I feel like this is the perfect shade. This is Urban Decay. This is actually one of their new shades. It's called Caffeinated. And it's a really nice kind of enhancing shade for my waterline, but not white to brighten. This is actually one of my favorite shades ever. I've talked about this before. Ooh, it's so pretty. But we're going to pick it up on a fluffy brush. And the reason I put it on the back of my hand is because I want it to be more diffused on the lid, not so much Complete Champagne. Just kind of want to tap just to get the shimmer from it. This is going to be my first time trying this foundation. I picked it up yesterday at Ulta. I have a little bit there, but I'm going to put a little bit extra. The match is really, really good. It better not betray me. I actually, I'm heading out to go to a little banquet. So better not betray me. It's very thin, so that's already a really good start for me. I love products that are very thin but pigmented, and that is exactly where this is headed. I'm gonna add a little bit more here. And remember how I mentioned how I don't really love to apply liquids and creams on top of already dried down products? Notice that I'm working on one side of my face because I know anytime I have a long wear like this, it's gonna have a very fast dry time. So I work in each section on my face. Now I'm gonna move to my forehead, and I know this seems kind of boring, but working in sections and not layering our products over already dried creams and liquids makes such a difference on wear time, separation, cakiness, all of that. So this is something to really take note on. Now I'm gonna take a fluffy brush. Notice where I'm picking the foundation up. And the reason I'm gonna use foundation is because even though this is a very pigmented foundation, it's not usually as pigmented as concealer. So I'm gonna take this and I just kind of wanna melt it into the top part of my eyeshadow, and it just really gets nice and melty. And I feel that when you kind of take time and melt this top part of your eyeshadow, everything looks more seamless. If we use anything more dense than this, and like I mentioned, the concealer, that's just going to cover up. What we're wanting to do is kind of add to and melt everything together. We're not wanting to cover. We have a little bit of dark eyeshadow on, so that tends to want to pull the darkness underneath our eyes. So I'm going to use this today as a corrector, meaning it's going to go underneath concealer. So I'm going to smooth this out with a dense brush, because anytime we use a dense brush, that means we want the most coverage. But then once I get underneath here, kind of to that bottom part, I want to kind of diffuse and have that start to melt into the foundation. Lily Lashes Self-Adhesive Lashes. This is the Style Moneymaker. It's already starting to grab, but it is important to even let it sit here and warm up more. Then I start to kind of pull it where I want it. See, it's not quite set, but it's more set in the middle, which makes it so much easier. I feel like sliding is the #1 reason we have trouble with lashes. So I really feel like these are great. But I will say, I always wait for my mascara to completely dry, because since the glue is already on there, if you get the glue really, really dirty, they're not gonna last as long. So that is a really important tip. So then I'll just kind of keep clamping this onto the skin right above my natural lash. Natasha Denona Concealer. I think I'm just going to do concealer underneath my eyes. The foundation's pretty full coverage. I also want to mention that this is a foundation. I'm balanced to dry, but it's a foundation that might not need as much powder, even if you're oily, because of the way that it's drying down. So that is something to note. I like that. I don't want to wear as much powder. And I feel like oily skin doesn't want to wear as much powder, because when we have to powder and powder and powder, as the day goes on, those oils tend to break down everything. So I think we're gonna like this foundation. Don't run out and buy it once this video drops until I'm able to wear it for a little while. And for a little while, I mean a week or two. But so far, so good. Taking a little bit of that same brown liquid shadow on an E26, and we're gonna start to draw a little inner corner wing. I'm gonna set my under eye. I'm using Mario's powder, shade Neutral Peach. Not much of a brightening situation with the look. So I'm just gonna keep this one pretty close to my skin tone, always evening that out. Since it is a loose powder, I always make sure to even that out on my hand. That way it sets very evenly and all at once. I'll set the center. This is probably my favorite bronzer at the moment. This is my second one, and I'm hitting pan on this one now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and warm up the perimeter of my face. Hey, by the way, if you happen to have a C40, I wanna make sure you're using it right. Very quickly, you'll see that it goes to this thinner part of the brush. That's where I like to hold it. I'm gonna pick up the bronzer, and then you always want this side to point towards the ear like this. And then once you do these pressing motions, you get this beautiful transition without the brush flopping. So it's really all about how you're holding it, and you'll notice that I'm pressing. Okay, I think I can take these out now. I don't know if y'all ever tried these, but I really, really love them. I did my hair this morning, and then I just let them sit in these. It's pretty awesome. Oh, she's just got some hair. There we go. Look at all that volume. Okay, now, blush and lips. I'm gonna go a little bit peachier with my blush, and also I've been enjoying kind of placing my blush through here. Think of it as a kind of a straight line from this top part of my nose, pew, right through there. And I feel like this brush just does that perfectly. I'm gonna build that up just a hair more, and then I take this side and just kind of diffuse the edges a little bit with some circular motions. Now, I don't know what's possessed me, but I'm gonna put on a gloss with my hair down. I ain't gonna be inside, so maybe I feel like they're gonna put a fan next to me just because people know I'm wearing gloss. Just the way it happens. You get me. Gloss and lip gloss and hair, it's just chaos. Then I'm gonna do MAC Graze just as a lip liner, as a lip contour, and a true contour that's called Graze. It's very, very gray. And I'm just gonna kind of enhance. And then I'm gonna find another lip liner to add a little bit more warmth so it's not so pink and gray. This is probably my favorite lip liner at the moment. We're just gonna go on top, and we're still gonna have the contour, but we're going to take that contour a little bit more pinky warm. I'm gonna add a little bit more gloss. And by the way, these new 𝗕𝗘𝗧𝗬𝗓 lip glosses are perfect. They're everything I want in a gloss. They're not sticky at all. They're just delightfully pigmented. They're the right amount of pigment for me. And I also just adore the colors. All right, my friends, if you made it to the end, thank you so much. I know that these are really, really long, but I feel like education sometimes just needs to be in a longer format, and I just enjoy it so much. So I hope that you enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.